Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to the second season of Masterclass. I'm John Tanalia. Today we have a soprano from Arizona, Nina Cole Garguillo. Her panelists are Melanie Saracasanis, Judith Skinner, George Hogan, and Maestro Stephen Lord. Please sit back and enjoy the live singing.
Beautiful. Okay. Very nice. Okay, let's start with somebody who's done this very much. George, this is his role.
I knew you were going to call on me. Hey, listen, beautiful job, Nina and Ashley. I can't see you, but great job with the keyboard there. Yeah. Hey, just a few things for me. One thing through all this, there's times for me that I would like for you to keep her innocence a little bit more. Um, however you want to do that, that's fine. I thought the acting was fine. There's just sometimes when I felt it was more musical than character and emotion. Does that make sense? So at the beginning too, I just kind of felt like, of course, it is an epic aria, and it's not one that I've sung too many times. So I think I'm not sure if I do this one with you, Stephen. I can't remember. In any case, so the beginning I thought was just had a little lethargy to it. You know what I mean? Where later you got to where your consonants were actually before the beat, the vowels were coming down on the beat. It was just a little wah-wah in the beginning. At the end, I thought you really got going through the middle, and it was all lovely. It was sung very well, by the way. And so I'm being very nitpicky. The very end, your last cadenza, it was lovely, and then we took so long to get down from the top. You know what I mean? Just for me, and listen, that it's your cadenza. I just want to feel like it makes emotional sense to me. What are you thinking there? In that cadenza, do you have any things that you're thinking?
Yes, I am. I think trying to hold on to a secret, and this song is such a battle between an outpouring of teenage emotion and also this idea that, am I supposed to be feeling these feelings? And
so that I like that. That's kind of an overview, but I mean, right there at that moment, what are you feeling? What is that? I mean, I've seen some people even count to, 10. It's interesting because their brain is doing something. So just curious. And listen, that's your call. It doesn't have to be anything, but I like to think of I'm either prey or I'm a predator. I want that feeling there through all of that. It was lovely. I don't know that I really have a lot else to say. I think you have a yeah, I'm just a loss for words today.
Specificity for every moment. I think especially the long held note is my last send off in hopes that Gualtier will come back. Because I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a very educated way of looking at it. I guess my point is I kind of want the raw. So for me, all those things are correct. And yes, you want to sing it beautifully. You've got to sing it like a recording, right? In order to get the job. There's so many things that play along with it. But just for you, go through the layers of your thesaurus on those words or the emotions. See where part of the onion, skin that you want to be on. Okay. All right. I'm out.
Thanks, George. Okay, let's go to Judith, please. Unmute yourself, darling. You can all unmute while she's not singing. So this way, if you want to join in, unmute, everybody unmute. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you for singing for us. Absolutely beautiful. I sing this role all the time.
Another one, yeah. Yeah.
That was a joke.
I'm sorry you were never my model, ain't it, Judith? We would have had fun.
Gilda, she falls in love, and she's singing this very early on in the opera, that she's fallen in love with this student, which we all know is really the Duke. I think the words play a really important part because this aria itself, though, although it's short, is going to be what unfolds throughout, the entire opera. And so it's really important that you don't give a generalized interpretation, but that we really feel that you have fallen in love with this student. So I think words are very important specifically for this aria because of what it is foretelling as the opera continues. And so I would really delve into the words and make a more concentrated connection to those words so that we really believe that you are falling in love with this individual. I think the cadenzas, I agree with George here about the cadenza. It has to have some kind of emotional passion or something behind it, or else it's just you singing a bunch of beautiful notes and you're definitely doing it well, but it needs to elicit some form of emotion,
Right.
or else we're just watching you sing notes.
Yes.
And I think that will come. Have you done the role? I don't know if he asked you that. You haven't done the role. Okay. So I think it all comes together once you've done the actual role and you work with a director and they start to piece all of this together and give you an explanation. But it's something that you should think about as you're preparing it and have that in your arsenal, so you aren't just showing up with just notes. You're showing up with a full through line character and an understanding of what this particular aria possesses. I think that's all I have to say on that.
Thank you, Judith. Wonderful.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's go to Melanie, please.
Hi, thank you so much for singing for us. It's really, really beautiful, and your upper register is quite stunning, I have to say. Especially that D sharp at the end. That was just so focused and right on. One thing about her innocence, you know, it could help you when you're performing it to imagine, you know, he always enters from the same place. So you can always maybe some kind of gesture to him in that spot where he always enters your garden or whatever from the same place. So if you could kind of, you know, envision where he's coming from, and you can sing some of your notes to that, and, you know, it kind of gives you some more excitement about him, right? I agree, you could add a little more innocence to your whole production. I wanted to say, I'm going to work backwards from the aria. In the cadenza, don't skip the notes in the run from the top B. There's a lot of notes in there. Don't skip any of them, but you can also make it a little more organic with, you know, playing around with the tempo of the run, right? To make it more like, and then you thought of something else that maybe you'll get married and, you know, that makes you go even faster, and, you know, just make it very organic. And it doesn't have to be the same every time you sing it, right? I mean, you know, if you get this gig, you're going to be singing 5 performances, right? Just throwing that number out there, and it could be different every night, but make it more organic. Really consider what could possibly happen. And you're so innocent, you have no clue. You just have no clue, right? So I wanted to mention that. And then I'd love for you to echo on the you know, come back the second time. You know, whenever you have repeated, always echo. It just brings a little more magic. So you want to echo there, and don't discount the where was that? Okay. Sorry, I just lost my Col pensier il mio desir. That B, you just went desir. No, I want to hear that. I want to hear a little more spin up on that B. So I know it's just an 8th note and you have the, you know, the appoggiatura, but I still need just a little more time there.
Yeah.
You know, it's such an elegant aria, and it's almost too elegant for this very innocent character. Am I right? You know, but we still, I think we all want to hear that, right? We want to hear that elegance. What else was I going to say? Don't discount the B, don't skip the notes in the run. I think that was it. Again, just try and place his entrance from somewhere on the stage, because that might just give you a little more of that emotion about him and more innocence. But really a beautiful sing. You have such a gorgeous voice, and those high notes are so easy. So good luck to you. I hope to hear more out of you.
Thank you, Mel. Okay, can we go to Maestro Stephen, please?
Hello, Nina.
Hello.
I hope you all don't mind. I'm going to nerd out on her a little bit. Okay, Nina, I'm going to throw a lot of information at you. Okay, so open up your mind for it. You've just sung this duet, Addio, Addio, right? What do you think the last thing happened in that duet? Do you think he kissed you? I do. Okay. So we start. If you look at the harmony, Allison, if you look at the harmony, it's a dissonance.
Mhm.
On the third bar, it becomes consonants. So it's
Revelation.
okay. Listen to the harmony and then react to it. All right. Gualtier Malde, that's a very high note. It's only an E, but E is actually high to start something on. It's high tessitura, which means what?
Light, excitement, an emotional outpouring of.
But you've never said his name before.
True.
And if he kissed you, what is the last thing you remember?
His touch.
On his lips.
Okay.
So when you sing Gualtier Malde, you know, you're actually kissing him again. Okay, that might give you something a little bit. Okay, you don't be afraid to breathe before inamorato. Don't be so ambitious. You know, yeah, if you're singing in a big opera house, your breath is going to go anyway. So you may as well know, you know, how to do it. Oftentimes in auditions, I would just hear the recitative to this because it tells you everything about someone. Okay, everything, and whether they can sing in tune, which you did, and usually they don't sing this in tune. Okay, now the aria has a huge rhythmical problem. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yes.
This is a theme and variations. Okay, it's a theme and variations. And oftentimes people are holding notes and doing all these things before they've even said the theme, okay? Also, caro is on the fourth beat of the bar. It's not the accent. You all go, caro no me che il mio cor fe si. It's not. It's not. It's caro no me che il mio cor festi primo palpitar le delizie dell'amor. Sempre rammentar, and then you get the rhymes. Remember, you're singing in verse. We want to hear rhymes, okay? You don't want to hold any notes really until the one that has the fermata on it, and that's the G sharp, I think. Okay? Until then, just state it. You know, you don't want to hold caro. Caro nome che il mio cor festi primo palpitar le delizie dell'amore te sempre col pensiero il tuo desiderio te sempre volerà. Okay, not till the A, and then you can show us that you have a trick. Okay, but really it's a theme and variations. You don't want to start the variations too soon, and then when you get what do you think that is?
Laughing.
Right, but there's a tune. La sol fa mi la sa da da ya da da. Okay, do laughs get louder as they go on? No. Ya da da da. Ah ha ha ha. Ah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's a tune. That's a tune. It's not a chicken in the yard. Okay. Let me see. Oh yes, and then at the end you say you ognora voholera. The whole aria you've been singing sempre.
Yeah.
But now you sing ognora.
Always.
All hours, not forever, but all the hours. And there's a glide in that word. You might want to use it.
Okay.
And then the last fin l'ultimo sospiro tuo. Do you see how jagged that is? Fin l'ultimo. Don't you think that's I cross my heart and hope to die?
Yes.
Isn't that what Juliet would do? Isn't that what Juliet would do? Do you know what I mean? With all that sincerity. Anyway, it's excellent. I agree with my colleagues, and yet I don't in the cadenza. First of all, Verdi didn't write it, okay, or didn't write half of it. If you're going to sing that last note like that, if you're going to swell on it, well, anybody can swell on a note. If you want to do it, you want to come back on it. And then you can say, this is one of those moments you say to the public, watch this. And then they clap. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Really, this cadenza is meant to, and I always clap in the wrong place too, but that's a whole other story. But this is meant to show off. So show off, but you can only show it off if you diminish on it. Anyway, that's a lot of nerding out, but
No,
it's Caronome in a nutshell, and it's usually things that no one does, and I'm shocked that they put their stresses in the wrong place. They forget the poetry. They don't know their laughs. They hold things they shouldn't hold. She's too young for that. You can, once you get into the aria, once the variations start, but until then you lose your naivete. Anyway, Nina, that's it.
Thank you, Stephen.
well,
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Now, I think that was beautiful. I agree with everybody. They said it all, so I'm not going to elaborate on anything because they said it all. Now, what else do you have for us? What do you have for us to sing? What else do you have?
I have Glitter and Begin.
I knew she was going to say that. I just knew it.
I figured I'd just bring out all the crazy and
I just knew it. What else? Linda de Chamonix,
then
right?
Also, Willow song from Ballad of Baby Doe.
Uh-huh.
Stephen, do you have a preference?
No, I want you guys to do it. I let you guys figure it out. Melanie, you do it.
I'm sorry, you had Willow Song and you had Candide. Is that what you said?
Yeah, she did.
I would love to hear some Candide. How does everybody else feel about that?
Fine with me.
Well,
Okay.
I'm with you.
it may come at an awful cost.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but no, I don't want to force it on you.
No. For those who know the piece, but she goes at an awful cost. Right.
Oh, right.
Right.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking about that. I'm just hearing her high notes.
Yeah, she was thinking E flat. E flat. Yeah, right.
Typical soprano. What are you going to do?
Right, exactly.
Because I never could sing that, so I admire anyone who can. So.
Can I just say one quick thing though before we do it?
Yeah.
Nina, remember that the Willow song, when you sing it, okay, do you know what it is in the context? She's going after that guy.
Yes.
She's a tart. So she's a tart. Okay. So don't be too, just understand what you're doing there.
Yes. Don't be a tort, be a tart.
Yes.
Exactamundo.
I love the Willow song too. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I
It's
hate
really
that
pretty.
opera.
Don't say it. You said it the
I
last
hate
time,
it.
George. I love that opera. I love all the arias. Come on.
But please, gentlemen, please.
Now that I knew.
Let's do
Okay.
the Candide.
Yes. All right. Can we all mute, please?
Glitter and begin. That's the part I play. Here I am in Paris, France, forced to bend my soul for my fallen state, purchased as they were at such an awful cost. Bracelets, lavaliers, can they dry my tears? Can they blind my eyes to shame? Can the brightest brooch shield me from reproach? Can the purest diamond purify my name? And yet, of course, these trinkets are endearing. I'm oh so glad myself I is a star. I'd rather like a 20-carat earring. If I'm not pure, at least my jewels are. Enough, enough. I'll take their diamond necklace and show my noble stuff by being gay and reckless. Observe how bravely I conceal the dreadful shame I feel.
Bravo. Okay. Can we start with Maestro, please?
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Take your very, 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 very nice.
Good job. I've done this piece so many times. Wow, and you do it as well as any of them, which is really terrific. You know, I have an allergy to people who laugh and who cry on the stage because it's always fake. But the great part about this piece is it can be fake in the very beginning, so that's fine. But that's a whole other thing. Listen, I think you make too much of the little moments. I think there are so many little details that we lose the, what is it, forest for the trees or the tree, whatever. You know, there's a great film or play called Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and Marilyn Monroe's in it, and she says, you know, we're going to go to France, Europe. You know, she didn't have to think about France, but the Europe makes it funny. Do you know what I mean? Here I am in Paris. In case you didn't know, it's in, you know what I mean? But here I am in Paris, France. You know, you lose where you're going. You get kind of lost in it. Yeah, again, try not to get lost in minutia. You lose the direction of where you're going. There are just so many details that, in a sense, are distracting. I can't follow it.
Okay.
You know, even in the dialogue section, that's written very well in rhyming couplets. And if you stop in the middle of the second half of the phrase, we lose where it's going, which is the rhyme.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it needs to be it needs to be a little more sincere as you do it.
Okay.
You know, she actually believes a lot of what she's saying. And we're laughing at her because she believes in what she's doing and saying. Okay, you did really well with the ha 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 ha's, that they were laughs. You did very well, but the easiest ones are the last three notes of the piece. After the E flat, you got to put the H's on that so we know they're laughs. I don't think it's written is it? It's written ha 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 with H's, right? Well, the last because if you don't have ha 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 at the end, then the postlude means nothing. Ha 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 ha, and the postlude is the orchestra and Bernstein laughing. Okay. Okay. So that's the only thing. Don't let it be too much of a caricature,
Okay.
because we'll laugh at the situation. We don't want to laugh at you.
Okay, good.
They will laugh at you because you do it like Carol Burnett. But, if you know who that is, you're so young. But, let's laugh at the situation and let's laugh at Cunegonde and not at Nina.
Yes.
Does that make any sense to you?
This is great to hear because usually I'm like stuck. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're wonderful with your body. Everything's really wonderful. It's just too much.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're going to the end of the piece and you're going to the end of lines. Don't get lost. It's like when you're a little kid and you see a stream and you're on a bridge, and you throw a stick in one side, then you run to the other side of the bridge to watch it come out the other side.
Yeah.
You're getting stuck inside the bridge. I keep waiting for it to come out the other side. And instead it's going round and round and round and it's not going there. Okay, make any sense?
Yes, 1,000%.
Are you one of Gail's students?
Yes, I am.
Please send her and John all my best.
I will.
We're very old friends. Okay.
Thank you, Stephen, as usual. Okay, let's go to Melanie, please.
First of all, thank you for singing that. I mean, because I love that aria. I remember I took it to my teacher in graduate school. I prepared it on my own. I came to my lesson all prepared. She said, please never sing that for me again. So that was just really not my repertoire. I have, however, sung Gilda a few times. So thank you for doing that because I just love that aria. And you have every note perfectly focused. It was so perfectly sung from a technical standpoint. And all of those, you had such clean runs. So clean. I was quite impressed. I do agree with Meister Lord about it can be a little too campy, so to speak. So make it a little more honest, I think. She is such a big character, right? I don't have a lot to say because for me, it was just so perfectly sung. But I've never actually performed the role. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about it.
It's low. This is the only thing high in it. Everything is below the staff.
Ah, okay.
It's really low.
Wow, I did not realize that. But yeah, I mean, it was just so perfectly sung in my eyes. So, and I appreciate you doing that because I requested it. So, thank you so much, Nina.
They'll leave the $50 on the piano. Okay, can we go to Judith, please?
Hello. Beautifully sung. I mean, this aria is like going to the gym and doing a massive workout. You are working from the beginning to the end. I do feel that it's great to have so many things in your arsenal as you're going along, because it's better to show up with too much than to show up with nothing and they have to pull it out of you. So you have enough. Now you just need to pare back, choose your moments.
Yes.
Choose your moments. You don't want to play it being funny. You want it to be funny. And so you've got everything there. You just need to choose your moments, because then it will give you time to breathe and settle in, because you've got like 3 E flats coming down the pike. You've got all of these runs coming. I mean, it is an athletic workout. And I think you do it so beautifully well that if you just choose your moments within the piece where you want to give the camp, and the rest of it, it will just be sheer perfection. It really will. And that's really all I have to say. I mean, to even pull that out and sing that after singing Caro Nome and be able to do all of that, thumbs up. Yep. I give it to you, thumbs up. Fantastic.
Thank you, Judith. Okay, can we go to George, please?
Man, no doubt about the thumbs up after singing Caro Nome. Hey, Meister, I love the bridge analogy. That is so awesome. And that was the one thing I kind of felt, Nina, at times, that, where you're not singing, have the drama, the thought going that carries over from one to the other. I will say for me in this aria, several different things I'll say for a minute, but the one thing, the idiom tongue in cheek, for me is this aria. So, I think the humorous, the sarcastic, having those statements, but you're expressing them oftentimes in a mock or serious way. Does that make sense? I mean, we all kind of do that. So most coloraturas have an excellent chest voice. Would that be you?
I mean, I'm chest in some of those for sure.
So I loved your second lap. I would like for that character to be present in the beginning, where you kind of have that, for me, that, the two sopranos from Impresario, I'd rather you be not the young ingenue. I would rather you be the old soprano there, where you have a little bit of chesty, in the cry. I thought you brought that later. For me, I just like that. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of whatever it is. And again, I have to say your top is magnificent. I mean, really magnificent. The other thing I would agree with the maestro. I think the tough thing as a singer, and I know my teachers always, especially Giorgio, would kind of hammer it in at the end, is trust your instincts. Trust your instinct if it tells you that you're faking it, if you're not honest. Trust your instinct if you're if that's too much or over the top, or it's not you. I mean, I was going to ask you, for example, what is your noble stuff? See, you don't know.
Right. The illusion of being too good for these treasures that I've been given.
Well, I mean, it could be that. It could be, it could be so many different things. I mean, I've seen it in a lot of different ways. Like, I don't, I mean, I'll go out on a limb here. I mean, for me, it could be, it could be your figure. It could be, I mean, we live in such a weird time now. I would have said things before back in the 70s and 80s and 90s and not worried about it. But
Yeah.
I mean, your noble stuff, what is that? What is your noble stuff? I mean, I have to feel it, that's like stuff that nobody else has. I've got it, so, yeah, I mean, but I think, trust your instincts on that. And the other thing at the very end for me, I would rather have, the and I'll get your dog Toto. I mean, I'd really rather the laugh just go. So you've got the difference with the laugh at the end as opposed to the, the crying and the laugh. Does that make sense? And just let that go off the spectrum and let everybody know that you have a high C above high C. I mean, just way up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, just whoa. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. Throw glitter, and be happy. Okay.
Thank you, George. Okay. Nina, there's no question that you have a magnificent talent, and it was an honor to hear you today. To sum up what everybody said, for me, just as a sit back listener, even in comedy, the most honest laughs are from doing it straight, from what you, if you make it a joke, it's no longer a joke. It's a line. So it's the aura that you give off has to be from you. I want to see how you do that and how you would say that. Yes, you have the lines, but your personality is what's going to make you the most polished singer that you can ever be. The same thing with in the Caro Nome, I would say the same thing. It's the innocence and the honesty of the music that's going to push you to that next level. And again, comedy, from doing it, my life is a comedy, so I lived it. So, but it's the straight moments that make that hysterical, because you don't know you're funny. That's the kind of outlook. So my only comment to you as a performer, because I have nothing to say vocally because it's beautiful, is to make it yours so that I know that Nina is doing that. That's the only thing that I would say as a general performer. That's it. When it becomes you, instead of just putting it, and listen, Verdi wrote beautiful music. There's no question about it. It's just that the innocence of Nina is missing. That was the only thing that the essence of you Okay. Yes, you can sing it. There's no question about it. You'll be a wonderful Gilda. There's no question in my mind. I would do Gilda. You could be my daughter anytime. That would be my only comment to you, because vocally, again, it was quite beautiful, and I'm honored to have you on Masterclass. Take what everybody says and think about it. If it works for you, you use it. If it doesn't, go on to the next thing. That's right. So Judith, you can unmute now if you want to. We're almost at the end anyway. So, and thank you. Again, tell Gail, please, and John, tell them that I thank them from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Thank everyone so much for this opportunity. Is amazing. So yes.
Really.
Yes.
What are you doing? Do you have anything coming up, or do you have any performances?
I am a choir director full-time, and do private voice and in Glendale, Arizona. So
Okay.
I had a baby 2 years ago, and
congratulations! Good for you.
Kind of slowed some stuff down, but
me too.
Making, performances.
Yeah, I got pregnant 33 years ago, and I never gave birth. So yes, I know that feeling. Yes, yes, I got pregnant with my wife, as they say, and she gave birth, and I didn't. But thank you again. I really enjoyed it, and thank you, everybody. And I will see everyone next week, I believe. So Nina, thank you again. Thank you, ciao, ciao, and the best of luck. And if you have any questions for any one of us, you can reach out any time. So please, just if you have questions or you need help with something, feel free to call.
Perfect. I want to say thank you so much for letting your time available to me, and I look forward to watching future Masterclass.
There you go. Okay.